2015, the football season's about to get underway and it's an exciting time in the Goulburn Valley. Here with me this evening, our main man in this region, Mr. Simon Devine. Simon, how are you?
Good, thanks Foxy, and thanks for having me here, really appreciate it.
And appreciate your time giving up, because I know you're really under the pump at the moment. Now, the people that out there that don't really know you, tell us your exact title of your job and what it entails.
So the title of my role is the League Operations Manager for the AFL Goulburn Murray. So the role actually encompasses the 4 leagues that are involved with the Regional Administration Centre, which is obviously the GV, KD, Shep Juniors and Seymour Juniors. But 80% of my role is focused on the GVFL. The support I'm providing for the other 3 leagues is more of a leadership role through my experiences that I've had in Queensland.
Now, a lot of people come into these jobs, Simon, a lot of people don't find out enough about the people. Now, I can tell you all that I've had dealings with Simon, and he's a straight shooter, he's straight up front, and what I would call a good bloke. Originally, his family are from Tasmania, but you moved to Queensland. How long were you in Tassie, and how long did you move to Queensland?
I moved, obviously I was Tasmanian born, but I moved up there when I was 7. I've got 5 brothers, 4 older, 1 younger, and my family, mum and dad more so, said, there's probably not much opportunity for 6 boys growing up in Tassie, so they decided to make the move to Queensland, basically off their own back, no family or anything up there, and that's where I've been ever since, obviously, the move here.
Now, I know another thing that I'll just enlighten the viewers on is that Simon's uncle is a fellow called John Devine. Now, for those of you that don't know who John Devine is, if you're a little bit younger, John played in the premiership side at Geelong in 1963.
I think it was, yes. He was actually vice-captain too.
And he also went on to coach Geelong for a couple of years. And he was, I can tell you right now, John Devine, you talk about straight shooters, he was scared of no one, as tough as they came, and a terrific bloke. Now, your wife, does she feel like the widow of the thing, or is she just used to you in football?
Used to me in football. Obviously, we sort of spent a fair bit of time apart during the season, but she's very supportive of what I'm doing, and obviously if she wasn't, we probably wouldn't be where we are now. But yeah, no, really, she's obviously backing me 100%, which is really good.
Yeah, it is fantastic, and you're living in locally. It's not as if you're travelling a million miles to work too, which is a real bonus.
No, that's right. I live locally, but obviously part of that role is to get out and about too. So over the last couple of weeks, I've been able to get out to almost every club, which has been fantastic. Got a couple more to go, but really looking forward to touching base with all those clubs.
I can tell you a fellow that Simon knows, and he put me onto him, is those of you that have been following this competition will be familiar with the name Steve Daniels. Now, Steve coached Seymour to 3 in a row, and then he went out to Tat and had a great deal of success with Tachura Football Club as well. And Steve, I asked him a little bit about Simon, and he said, and I quote, "Good bloke, Foxy, give him a fair go." And he's been wonderful. He's been out, how many clubs have you been out to see, Simon?
So far I've been out to 9, I believe it is, so 3 to go. And yeah, really excited about the opportunity this presents, not only obviously for myself, but for the clubs with essentially, everyone seems refreshed, which is really good.
One of the things that you've done, Simon, and I think is a great innovation, is that the media outlets, that namely like us and all those that are associated with the promotion of the Goulburn Valley Football League,
yep.
We've got, a 12-month period to prove our wares to yourself and the board that we're doing it. Can you explain why that's come about?
Yeah, I mean, obviously for me it's about the product. I haven't actually seen the product yet. I've seen obviously the Footy show by what it's done online, but to actually live here, live and breathe it and see what the reaction is from outside is important. So the board has essentially signed 12-month deals with a number of broadcasting elements to assess. And also we plan on engaging an independent person to provide us with some rationale behind that too.
AFL, who do you follow in the AFL, mate? You may as well clear the name right now.
I'm a Carlton fan, so when they were up here a couple of months ago, it was really good to see, and I was all around them.
Well, you know how hard it is to get sponsorship in football, and you're working in it all the time. We've got a couple of sponsors that have been fantastic with us over the years, and now that you've told me you're barrack for Carlton, I've got a present here to give you. Well, you've done that. Let's clear that up right now. You've done that. But Steelline give us a bag of goodies every week. And in there you've got stubby holders. Do you have a beer, Simon?
I do have a beer. I enjoy a beer every now and again.
Yeah, good boy. I'm happy to hear that. So there you go. You can get him up to Laughing Water and get him to sign on for anything. There's a sun hat in there. You'll find a bit more sun in Victoria, but you've probably been used to Queensland. A couple of stubby holders that I'm sure you'll put to good use. I know how busy you are, and I hope people out there, if you see Simon at the footy, very approachable fellow, don't be scared to get up and say good day to him, and he's a good fellow. And I promise you, this isn't the first or the last time that you'll see him on this show. So Simon, I wish you every success for season 2015, and if you've got anything you'd like to add before we wind it up.
No, just thanks obviously for everybody making me feel very welcome, which is obviously a massive part of country community footy. But please do so, come out and if you do see me, come and say g'day. I'm very approachable. If you do have any ideas, please let me know. I'm willing to try anything once. So, come and say g'day.
Good on you, mate. Simon Devine, he's the man that you've got to go to if you've got problems in the GoTAFE, Goulburn Valley Football League. We'll be back in a minute, have a look at this, and then I'll be back with Mario Di Santa Ana to welcome him to talk about our under-18s.
Love Aussie rules footy? Are you retired as a former player? Do you go to secondary school? Then here's a career for you. The Goulburn Valley Football Umpires Association invites you to join their team. Umpiring positions for young men and women or adults with a good level of fitness to become boundary, goal or central umpires. Get paid for doing something you love. Call the GV Umpires Association today.
It's Webster running in there. Can he get it? Off the ground He goes. Thank you very much. Another one across here and they find Lockie Thompson. Lockie Thompson could go quickly here. Now they're out. Benalla boy there. He gets the ball quickly there. James Walsh goes long, finds his teammate there. There's about 4 minutes to go. Benalla just working the ball. Dodge goes inside 50, looking for his teammate there. That's
this fella's
Spencer
been very
again.
good today. Very good.
Spencer goes long, beautiful kick in, finds Webster on a lead, and he takes the mark.
That'll be it. Well done, Benalla Football Club. They celebrate 2014 Premiership. Well done to Wally Armstrong and his team.
Well, there you go. That was the year that was in 2014, where it was, in fact, Benalla, 22-point victors over Seymour in a terrific game of under-18 football. The man that was there and covering for us was Mario Di Santa Ana. Mario, welcome back on board, son.
Good to be back, Dave. It's another year. It's come around real quick, but probably not quick enough for us, has it?
No, not really. I guess we're all football nuts, if you like, and we love it. And it was a great year for the boys from Benalla last year, wasn't it?
Sensational year. They were runners up the year before and came out and took off the flag, and unfortunately for them, their seniors fell short, as we know, but the thirds got up, and I think they'll be thereabouts this year as well.
One of the real great aspects of it too, Mario, and Mario's had a fair bit to do with it in his own right, because he's met the fellow, spent time, called in to see him. Alan Rosignoli from Rosignoli Real Estate gives us an award every year for Mario's award. We refer to it here, but it is in fact the Rosignoli Real Estate Award. It's $500 for the fellow that Mario and Jason Wells, you do it together.
That's right, correct.
And last year's winner was?
Kieran Betson from Marupna Football Club. Had a great year and ticked all the boxes in relation to his contribution to the club and his community in Marupna, and a very worthy recipient, and he was there on Morrison Medal Night to accept the cheque from Alan, and was very appreciative of it.
Yeah, and it is hard work, isn't it, to get the younger men appreciated for what they are. They are the platform that this competition's built on.
Yeah, and it was good. It was good to hear later on that Kieran actually popped in and saw Alan down at his office there in Wyndham Street, and personally thanked him away from football, which is really good to see.
Wonderful effort, Kieran. Well done, mate. Now, Mario, just is there anything that you've heard on the under-18 grapevine for this season?
Oh, look, I think if we thought last year's finals were close, I think this year is going to be even closer. The recruitment around the traps has been pretty good. There's a huge number of kids in the Bushranger squad. I think we've got from the GV itself, we've got 18 in the Bushrangers, and then add another half a dozen in the Pioneers from obviously from Echuca and Kyabram. So there's probably over 24 young boys who are showing their wares at the elite level in under-18 football around here. Obviously, when they come back, they'll strengthen their senior and under-18 sides here in the local competition. So I think it's going to be very exciting. It's hard to see which sides will lead the way, but I reckon it's going to be pretty close.
No doubt about it, mate. Any early call on who you think will be premiers?
Oh, look, I'm going to go for Benalla. I'd love to say Swans, but that's not going to happen. I think Benalla are probably the reigning premiers, and I've seen some of the talent coming up there from the under-16s for the under-16 program, and I think they'll be as strong again this year. So, and they've got a new coach there in Daniel, and he's going to be really good with them. So I think they'll be the number one, and I think Seymour will probably be in there as well.
All right, mate. Well, we don't see you for a fortnight now. You go away and you've got the Easter. You've got a few games this weekend, and then we've got we'll see you the week after Easter.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I hope to get to about three or four games this weekend with the night games and that. So it'll be really good. So get out there and support the under-18 football, because that's where the talent's coming from.
Okay, you heard it all from our main man in under-18 football, Mario Di Santa Anna, and I said it last year and I'll say it again. He has coached at interleague level, he's coached at club level, and he was a great player around every club that he's been involved with. Mario, look forward to seeing you in a fortnight, mate.
Thanks, Foxy. See you then.
Beautiful right foot kick. That's a great kick. Dan Lovick's running back to the fight of it. Plays on. He's tackled. Gets a handball out there to Madden. Madden runs around now. Kicks on the right foot. Puts it up in the air. It's not going to make the distance. It's going to float back. Campbell. No, it's Bell. The ball is now trying to come through to the Shepparton Swans. They pick it up. A shot on goal is a goal.
Martin over in the footy. Daniels has got it. Handball's out wide to side bottom. Sees McDonald. Chapman short. Chapman marks. Chapman with the footy centre wing position. You get the feeling the siren's are imminent. Chapman goes back on the left foot. It's a long kick. Pack will fly. Lockie Smith got one hand to it. The ball. The siren has gone. It's over. 3-point ball game. The Swans are premiers. They've broken the drought in 2014.
Well, some people say they were stiff, but I don't think so. I think the better side won the grand final on the day, and you just saw it the last little bit of play there where the Swans, underdogs, supreme underdogs, proved to be too good for the boys from up the road on the highway, the Benalla Saints. Well, it's going to be an interesting year, and we're back to talk senior football now in the Go TAFE Goulburn Valley Footy League. To my right, John Ryan. JR, how
Foxy,
are you, mate?
how are you, mate? It's lovely to be back again. It's lovely to be back for GVL footy.
Yeah, it is great to be back, and we've got a new kid on the block, Johnny.
He'll learn.
Yeah, we've got rid of the old fella, old
Yeah.
Nipper, and poor old Nipper. You'll see some footage in a little while. I'll show you what happened with Nipper.
We could probably put the footage on now while we're talking about it.
We've still got to welcome him first
Yeah.
up. Guy Morford, how many games you played, Euro? You played 200 games of Goulburn Valley footy?
152, Foxy.
152, I knew that was close. And then, of course, you coached the premiership in the reserve grade last year. Big thrill for you?
Correct. Yeah, no, it was a thrill. It was, it was a learning curve getting on board in the coaching scene, but it was a nice way to probably finish off my playing career.
Yes, it certainly was. And you were probably favourites too, Guy, but you held on all day, and it was a great win in very, very windy conditions.
Terrible conditions. I reckon that the conditions last year, last grand final was probably as bad as they'd get, but the boys stood tough through it, and it was nice to come out with the chocolates.
Of course, you will remember last year during the final season, the last couple of years, Guy has been a wonderful sponsor for us through his company, which is, of course, is Harper and Morford. They are builders of the elite type homes, but you do renovations as well. You'll do carports, extensions, a whole lot.
Whole package, Foxy. Yeah. So we're a local builder over in Euroa, and we've got a partnership with another local boy over there, Happy Nathan Harper.
Yep.
And we try and deliver a good quality product.
Good on you, mate. Well, enough will be said about that. We'll get into the footy. That's what we're here for. But we can't go without saluting our past champion that used to sit in that chair. You'll see what happened to Nipper as he marches off with his mates. He's going off to Never Never Land. Who knows when we'll ever see him? Will we ever see him again, John?
With a bit of luck, no.
Yep, that's exactly right.
We don't need to.
Okay, getting it underway. There are 5 new coaches in the competition. Jamison Daniels has gone to Tatura, Johnny.
Yeah, look, Jamison Daniels, I went over and watched training, and at this stage, he's doing, look, he's lost a lot of players this year, but at this stage, he's doing a really, really good job. Really good
Okay.
job.
Kyabram have picked up the services of Justin Sherman. There was a little bit of controversy about Justin's clearance, but it's all done and dusted now, and you'd only wish Justin the best of well at the Kai Bombers.
Yeah, for sure, Foxy. I mean, I think anyone who can bring AFL experience into this level is going to be worth their weight in gold, and I'll be really interested to see what Kyabram can do under his leadership.
He'll be a super player.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And some of the boys that's coaching Tattoo, we already have seen Jamison Daniels. Now, Rochi, I must apologise to James Flaherty. I don't really know a great deal about James. John, do you know anything?
No, not at this stage, but we'll soon find out. But, we just, like all the new coaches, all you can do is wish them all the best. Mm-hmm. They know what they're coming to. They know they're coming to a high standard footy. And, look, Rochi are a wonderful club, so he'll fit in there wonderfully.
That's exactly right. Now, the Swannies, they've picked up... He's got the toughest job, I reckon, in the Goulburn Valley Football League this year, because the Swans won the flag last year under Brett Warburton, and as I said, supreme underdogs. Hayden Best Now, you would have played a bit of footy against Hayden Best.
Played a little bit of footy against Hayden Best, more so against his brother Jared, but obviously he's a well-known person there in the fraternity down there in the Swans, and I think, you know, having his experience around the club and knowing some of the local talent, I think it'll be a good move for the Swans.
They've lost a few, haven't they?
They have.
But
They have.
That's what happens after
It'll be a tough gig for him to pick up.
Yeah, well, yeah.
There's no doubt about that. Now, another fella too that I'm glad he's taken a step forward to my way of thinking, and probably Johnny, you didn't know whether he was coming or going as the season progressed, but he's found a new home at United, and I'm talking about Brendan Vanderdonk. He's a very good friend of yours, Johnny.
Yeah, the Donkeys, he's moved over to United and he shafted Hawley, so he's taken his job.
Yeah.
He got rid of him. He said, "You're out."
He's a good bloke, Hawley, too.
Hawley was a good
You
fella.
know what the Donk's like? Once he starts,
shafted him.
Well,
You donkey, you done the wrong thing.
you know that
donkey.
Vanderdonk is the Egyptian word for white ant? Did you know that?
So he's got him. But anyway, now the Donkey, he's a very passionate man about his footy, and he'll do a good job there with Timmy Levy.
Now, let's have a look at the Swans. This year they play Benalla, Echuca, Rochi and Tat only once. That's got to be a little bit of an advantage to them. The best and fairest winner last year was Tyson Sidebottom. We all know what a great player that Tyson is. Their record last year was 14 wins, 2 losses and 2 draws, but they were and are the reigning premiers. The top 3 vote getters ahead in the Morrison medal included Jesse Finnan on 15, Brady Abbott on 12 and Dan Lovick, super player Dan Lovick, who was gone to the competition, but he finished on 10.
Foxy, the interesting thing about that, all those 3 are gone.
Yeah, that's right. It's
You know.
huge hole.
Yeah.
The goal kicker, well, big Harry Madden. Well, Harry got married not that long ago. Well done, Harry. He kicked 83. Caden Antonovich, the boy with the sensational hairdo, wears number 24, kicked 35. Brady Abbott has left the comp as well, and he finished on 29. Andrew Reardon, who probably played
Back and forward.
Yep. Finished kicking 16. Now, the new players to their club are a boy called Matt Keys from Eltham, Jed Wright from Catamatite, Sam Gemmell from Cobram, Ian Wright from Dookie, and Jack Threlfall from White Hills. Okay, so personally, myself, I think the Swans are going to go in a bit of a sliding motion, John. I think they've lost way too much class. They've lost... I know they've kept a few handy players, but the whiz, they've lost some depth.
I think they're still a side will push, make the 6.
Your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, I'm with you, Jay. I think they will. I think that probably that premiership hangover for them, and losing the players that they have, losing the calibre and the quality of players they have. I think finals are still realistic for them.
Oh, it's definitely.
But yeah, you know, hopefully with Hayden Best under them, and they can, you know, be pushing for that top 6.
Okay, that's my go. Johnny, you tell us about the Tat Bulldogs.
Yeah, the Bulldogs, 2012's, they were last premiers last year. They had 12 wins and 6 losses. Shannon Broadbent won their BNF. Robbie Montgomery, who and Sonny Whiting and James Sullivan were the top 3 medal winners last year for the Tat side. Well, all those players are gone. They've lost a lot of players, the Bulldogs. Sonny White, he kicked 75 goals, so he's going to take a fair bit of replacing Sonny White. Billy Lovell's still there. James Sullivan, Timmy Lanyon are gone. Jamison Daniels comes across, and he's a very good player, Jamison Daniels. We've seen that firsthand in the grand final. Benny Tartula, as we know, Benny, when he's fit and up and about, I think he could be Jake Rennie from Merch, Matthew O'Reilly, Lee Warnett comes back in from Murchison also, but look, they've just lost too many of the Bulldogs. They only play Seymour, Maroopna, Swans and Benalla once, so I think that's a real bonus for them in that area, Foxy, because I think all those 4 sides will feature in the 6. And I think their first 5 games, they play Kai, Roger, Echuca, Mansfield and United. They've got to get at least 3 out of that game. But, with James Sullivan, Chris Ryan, Shannon Broadbent, Link Wellington, Tommy Sullivan, all these players gone, they've lost 12 or 14 players. I think Tat are going to be a big slider this year.
Guy, will they play finals football to Chura?
No.
I think we're all in agreement with that. All right, mate. Well, doggies, you've still got some handy personnel on the track, but you've just lost that quality player at either end of the ground. Guy, you can talk about your beloved Magpies.
Yeah, Magpies Foxy. Last year, obviously 5 wins and 13 losses. Nathan Gilliland took out the medal over there. Obviously the playing coach and an A-grade player, as we know. Some big ins over at Uriah this year. A couple of people won't know. Some players like Brett Sawes, he's come from Corowa, up in the Ovens and Murray League, brings a lot of experience and a lot of class to this level of footy. James Milne, a boy from Murchison, who's played district footy over there. Watching him through the pre-season, I think he's definitely a really quality small forward player. Returning Ash Hobbs, a young bloke. Benny Barker, a fella from Whittlesea, half-back running type. I think he'll give us a little bit of excitement off there. Jordan Taylor, son of Brian, the big bristle broom's come on board.
Oh, righto.
And he's a probably suited to a centre half-back kind of type player. Another name, John Akupu. Watch out for this fella, boys. About 6 foot, came from the PNG All Stars. And
how do you pronounce it?
John Akupu.
Akupu.
I believe.
That's going to be Andy calling him, Foxy.
Good luck to you, Johnny. We hope you go very, very well. We might call you player number 52.
No,
so put 52 on. I just want to talk about one boy in that side and out, and that is a kid I saw as a youngster was very, very talented, James Milne. Johnny had a go out there at Tatura.
Yeah.
James, if ever you're going to make a benchmark and a name for yourself in footy, it's the time to do it right now. You can really play the game, but you've got to work hard, really hard. And Euroa are going to desperately need you this year to provide something for them up forward. I hope you have a great year, mate. I really mean that. But it's your time now. It's your time to shine, Jane. I hope you do it well.
And the other bonus you'll get there, 2 guys, Adam Tarrant last year, had a shocking year with injuries. At the start of the year, he had a fantastic year, but he had all those injuries. But he's a very good player.
He's spot on, Jay. Arguably one of the best fullbacks in the competition.
Yeah, and for his size.
Correct.
Unbelievable.
Rates number 2 with me. I think he's rates number 1 now because the best fullback's gone to Queensland. But anyway,
I don't think they can make the 6.
No, I don't think so either. I've got United, and I tell you, I think Timmy Luby is doing a fantastic job out there. Now he's got Brendan van der Donk on board. That adds a little bit more on the field on the outside looking in. They won 8, they lost 9 last year, and they drew 1. Now, the top 3 in the Morrison medal with Tim Luby on 16. Matty DeBello, I saw Matty in a practice game the other week. He finished, he had 9 votes last year. Matty Rendina, the ever reliable Rendina. Good player, been around a long time now, Matt, and you wish him well for this season. Matty DeBello looks rock hard fit. John dropped a bit of weight, but looks good. Tim Luby, enough. What can you say about Tim Luby that hasn't been said? He's last year's interleague captain. He's a great player, thumping left foot kick, and leads by example. He was their leading goal kicker last year on 41. Brady Ross kicked 25. Justin Davis on 22, and Paul Curry kicked 21.
Foxy, don't you think this is where United, if they're going to improve, they have to find more goal kickers? Like Timmy Luby can't keep going back and going forward. And racking up 41 goals where he played lockdown back as well, so they've got to get some key forwards there now. And Brad Henderson's gone.
The new players that got to the club, Dion Gleeson from Kingupna, Kane Hanley from Tallygarutna, Reece Healy from Kundruk Barham, Tim Karolitis from Tally, I hope I pronounced that right, Tim. Then you've got Matthew Krewell from Diggers Rest, you've got Jason McEnany from Sunshine, Shane Neves from Old Scotch, and Ben Pedretti and Tyler Pedretti. Both those boys are from Tally. Last year they were thereabouts, and I know that they've recruited what they desperately needed. They needed height, and they needed plenty of it, and I've seen them in a practice game, and believe me, I think they'll play finals football this year.
The big ruckman
goes very, very good indeed, and they've got a redhead that goes all right, and about time a redhead started to do something in this competition.
No, you always keep pumping me.
You got to do it, but I think United are in for a big year.
I think they're a chance to make the 6 United, sure.
Absolutely. Johnny?
Yeah, Rochester.
Tell us about Rochester.
Yeah, Rochester last year, pretty good year. They finished 5th, 2008 since they've won a premiership, the United boys. The Rochi boys, and they won 11-7. Ash Watson, of course, won the BNF last year, and he's a very, very good player, Ash Watts. But my concern with Rochi is Grant Weeks. He's gone, he's a 103 goal kicker. They've got to replace that, and you'd sort of very, very hard to find a replacement that kicks 103 goals. Dylan Cuttress kicked 39 from, so he was the next closest. But I think if they're going to go anywhere at Rochester, they've got James Flaherty, of course, from Peel Thunder, Stephen Strubent from Bendigo Gold, Adam Bacon from Locking Bermorn, and Jacob Perry from Rushworth. I see a lot of the blokes in the paper, Foxy, have got them up in the 6. I haven't got Rochester in my 6 at this stage.
Me either, mate, and I agree with you. I think what you alluded to, if you take 100-odd goals out of a forward line, you're losing a great player. But not only that, it's the players that he takes the pressure off that are around him.
And I think the thing that where they have got it going maybe a little bit from, and I think the first 5 games are crucial in any football, and they've got a Chuka Tak, Kai, Marutma and Urawa. So, you would think if they're going to be up and about, there should be 3 wins there at least for them if they end there while they're in with a good start.
Strubent, JR, do you know much about him?
Yeah, I think, he goes all right.
Goal kicker, isn't he?
Yeah, a goal kicker and plays on bit on ball, I think, as well.
Okay, Guy, you've got the chance to talk about the big improvers. They tell me there's a bit of a word getting out of the Seymour camp. They'll be much improved this year. So what have you got there for us?
Seymour Lions. Foxy finished 10th on the ladder last year, 4 wins and 14 losses. Brett Meredith, best and fairest for them, absolute superstar of the competition. Blokes like Sard, 82 goals last year. Coached by, a really good playing coach in Paul Colbert. Some big ins, boys, and I tell you now, this bloke will I reckon, light this league up. A bloke called Tim Bongetty came from the Greensborough Football Club. He is an absolute powerhouse forward. So I think all the fullbacks out there and my old mate Adzi and Urawa, I think you want to have your work cut out for those days. Paul Scanlon, another fella returning to the club from Northcote Park. We know about Paul Scanlon, absolute ball magnet, tough, in and under midfielder. Jakey Lorraine returns to the club from Coburg. A fella called Casey Duncan played a little bit of football at Euroa, coming from Avenel, and a fella called Andrew Green. They play once Benalla, Echuca, Rochi and Tat. Their first 5 games are versus Benalla, Mansfield, United, Marubna and Tatura. I tell you now, boys, I reckon Seymour are going to be the biggest improvers this year.
I've got to measure the top 3, John.
Yeah, I reckon there's going to be 2 big improvers, and one will be Mansfield, who finished on the bottom of the ladder. I think they, if you look at the stats on last year when we went from the top to the bottom, Benalla and Mansfield, I think Benalla, from memory now, kicked 160 goals less kicked against them, and kicked 146 goals more than Mansfield. So that's how much they have to improve to get to that level. But I think both these sides will be improvers. And if you look at Seymour last year, the Colbert boys were injured. All Jason Cole, what a year he had, but earlier he missed out in a lot of games. So there's a lot of injured players, but I think they'll be in the 6.
Oh, definitely. Look, don't forget they had the 2 brothers out for the best part of last year.
Yeah.
Scanlon in a practice game had the ball 14 times in one quarter.
He's a super player.
He has lost nothing, Scanlon.
Yeah, no,
I'm going top 3. Top 3 of the Lions for me. All right, well, I've got the Pussycats now. Last year, the Pussycats finished 6th, and they surprised a few. They came home all right, and Blake Campbell's real credit to him. They won 9 and lost 9. The best and fairest winner, no surprise to any of us, Daniel Lewis. In the Morrison Medal, they had 3 boys that were prolific voters. Luke Conker got 14, Daniel Lewis got 8, and Kane Atkinson got 6. Now, where they fall down a tad, and I reckon Blake would be trying to address that, is Daniel Lewis was their main goal kicker. Johnny kicked 57 last year. Luke Conker kicked 23. He's a dangerous player up forward, Conker. There's no doubt about that, but he needs a little bit of help. Charlie Burrows kicked 16, and Big Robbie Osborne, who's moved on to greener pastures at Wayai, kicked 16. Their ins, a boy we've seen before, Spiro Vagalis. Can play a bit, the old Spiro, don't worry about that. Zach Triggy from Stanhope, Brenton Campbell from Undira, Ryan Thompson from Apsley, Shane McDonald from Bond Beach.
Why do you see this bloke play?
Jake McMillan from Rushworth, Callum Sanders, Callium, just checking on the spelling there, from Ardmona, and Trent Greening from Kingupna. Now, Marubna, he's very astute. I don't think they'll go overboard trying to recruit hundreds and thousands, but I think they'll recruit well, and I can see them finishing in the top 6. Now, they only play... One time they play Euroa, Mansfield, Tatura and Rochi. And
they got a good draw.
Well, the first 5 games aren't that friendly to them. You could make a huge... I don't know whether they've got a good draw. The first 5 are the Swans, United, Shepparton, Kai and Seymour. That's a tough beginning to the season under anyone's circumstances. If they win 70% of those, they're going to play finals football.
1986 since their last premiership, but there's some talk of some new rule coming in. If these guys, they're playing the AFL, if they play 10 games or something, they can't come back. So I don't know if that's coming in or there was some talk about it.
Well, what we're going to do...
If that does happen, then Marubna could be in a bit of trouble.
Well, we've had Simon in tonight. As the season progresses, when it's time to talk about that sort of thing, we'll get him back in to address that, so that instead of hearing rumours and stories and innuendo and one thing or another, you'll have...
You're saying I'm making up stories?
No, because there's a bit in what you say. We'll find out all about it. Okay, Johnny. Echuca,
I think it's another side, 2002, since they've won a premiership. The Echuca boys 4 and 14, they lost 14, but gee, they were close a lot of times last year. Simon Buckley, he had a really, really good year, along with Matty Pollock and Brighton Shee. He was the main goalkeeper with 20 goals, so, that area, Liam Wilkinson, Jackson and Buckley, they have to get, that sort of area up if they're going to be very competitive this year. Scotty Beattie's gone back there from Echuca United. He's a good player. Jacob Chapman, even when Scotty Beattie was at Kyabram, he was a super player.
He's a
midfield.
great player.
He's a very good player. Lachlan Collins, Donahue, Phillips, Stewart and Valentine, all come to the Echuca side. Like last year, their main players were Simon Buckley, Matty Pollock. Kane Morrison was good from Tommy Stevens. He started late. Don't forget that young kid guy, the name of Clinton Holmes. He was a really good player. Only a young player was really good from. I can see Echuca improving, but I can't see him actually making the six sports.
I think you're spot on. I think they will be improved.
Oh yeah,
they're a fantastic club, Echuca, and what they're doing. And Brett Stevens and the boys up there, they're working very hard to create a good club, and they're on the right track, and they are a good club. And with it all takes time, and they'll be back in a year or two. I reckon they'll be right up in the top echelon. So I can't see them. In saying all that, I can't see them playing finals. What about you, Guy?
Yeah, I think I agree. I don't think they're probably going to play finals, but in saying that, though, adding some depth to that list, I just think players like Simon Buckley, for these lower clubs, they need that help around these players.
Yeah.
You can't be one dimensional and relying on these players all the time.
Too easy to tack off, and so they need help, and then they wear out in the last quarter when you want it.
All right, mate. Now, Guy, you're going to tell us all about Mansfield.
Mansfield Eagles over the southern side of Euroa finished 12th on the ladder last year. 2009 was their last premiership, so one would say that they've had a successful period over the last 10 years. 3 wins, 15 losses last year. I agree, JR. I reckon Mansfield are going to be another one this year who are going to climb the ladder. Ben Fagan, bloke who won their best and fairest last year, a big 6 foot sort of bloke, imposing player, good sword. Some good blokes over there still who are going to stick on with them. Adam Bashevsky, David Clark, Mitch Williamson, some boys like that. Couple big ins for Mansfield this year, boys, and a big name out of we would know from around the AFL standards is George Burberry from Geelong. He's going to be a massive asset to that club.
Early favourite for the medal already.
Oh, look, I'm sorry you heard that. I really am.
Jamie Sheen, boys, Wang Rovers.
Good player. Great
he'll
player.
Bring some experience back, and another local boy. James Octagon from Keilor Park. There's a few from Keilor Park that have come on. Sammy Christopher, Elliot Christopher, Brant and Zelmi. I hope I've got the pronunciation correct. Jimmy Hopgood, another local boy returning. George Cavalis, Dale Ayres, Angus Bredingham Moore from Hutchins Old Boys. Tim Blackburn and Jack Boone. So,
that's David's son.
Big Jack Boone.
Is it really?
Yeah. David Boone's son.
Son of
David Boone.
Son of. Could bat a bit, Booney. If his boy can play football like his old man batted, he'd be in for a good year.
Wonder if he can put away as many as he did as Bernie didn't let fly.
Who knows? But we wish him well. Welcome to the competition, Jack.
I think they'll be big improvers. I don't think they'll make the 6, but I think they're aiming very much to make the 6 in Mansfield. And it'd be great for the comp. If you see this turnaround where these sides have been down a bit and come up, but I reckon they're going to be super competitive. They've got a beauty first off. They play Benalla.
Test.
Yeah, then they've got Uriah, then there'll be Seymour, another test, then they've got Tat and Shep. So, they could be 4-zip in your first 5 games, and that sets you up for the year. So they, to me, at the start of the year, take Benalla. Out of that, they've got a really good draw.
I reckon they are going to break some hearts throughout the course of the year, the Mansfield boys. Don't worry about that, because I think if you go to Mansfield, beautiful new facility at Mansfield now, I can tell you'll enjoy playing your footy there.
And talking to good clubs, boys, Mansfield are a really good club.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Magnificent club. They're all good clubs in this league, Guy.
Correct.
Yep, they certainly are. I've got Shepparton. Now, Shepparton last year, they finished 9th. They had 4 wins, 13 losses and drew 1. Best and fairest was a big ruckman. Big Ash Holland is a great player.
Good player.
And the top 3 in the Morrison were Nick Allen, Ash Holland and Kane Thompson. Nick Allen going around again.
Yep.
I hope so. He's a great player. Will Patone kicked 20. Tommy Thorson kicked 20. Daniel Willis, if they get Willis back for a full year, mate, and I think he's decided to do that. Does he come back, John?
No, I think he's still having a bit of a run down there.
Okay.
I thought he was really good up to the interleague game, then I reckon he dropped off.
Yeah, but he was going down, coming back, coming back.
Patone
I'll tell you right now, he can play.
Patone and Thorson are gone.
They have, yep. Now, and I know that Brad Campbell is big on bringing in younger fellas because they're doing the right thing, Shep. They're trying to nurture their own and they're going all right about it. Ted Linden from Coburg, Sid Walsh from Dalesford, Dion Metzner from Cobram, Stuart Hobbigen Allen. I have it right there, Stuart. It's Johnny Ryan's writing, and they're like hieroglyphics. And he's from Heatherton, Joel Brett from Kingupna, Sam Owen from South Gordon, and Daniel Watson from the Northern Blues. Now, Shepparton, I think they're in the same mould as Mansfield. I reckon they're going to worry a few sides, and I'm tipping that they're just going to be on the cusp of the six this year.
I think the good thing this year, I don't think there's going to be really any easy beats. I really don't. I think, taking them down, they're saying that, but I've been watched that like a week or so ago, and they really impressed me. But anyway, I've got the Kyabram boys next, Foxy, and a lot of people, well, they reckon Kai are going to go on the slide. Well, I've got Kai in my top 4. I reckon they'll make top 4, Kyabram. I think they're going to be a really good side. They were premiers last time. And just before we go on to that, I'd just like to pay a tribute to Dave Williams. Boys, 21, 22, 23 years of coaching at GVL level. What an outstanding, and you're an icon, Dave, to the Goulburn Valley Footy League. We thank you very, very much for the memories and what you've done to GVL football. Your credit to yourself and to you and Sharon. If you retire or whatever you may do, good luck to you, mate, because you've been an absolutely champion for Goulburn Valley football.
Here, Johnny. Well said.
Yeah.
You're a good man, Johnny.
Yeah. I get 3 tyres now. Kyabram, they finished third, 14-4. Liam Ogden, he won the BNF last year, which was really good to see Liam get up and win the BNF. Big Jake Reeves, he's gone. Tommy Sheldon, geez, what a player he is. Tommy Sheldon and Jason Morgan, they're just absolutely guns. All right, Paul Newman's gone. He had 73 goals last year, but, where people are forgetting things, there's a bloke like Lukey Morris, Foxy, who had a big injury last year, didn't play. He's a gun to come back into this side. And then with, the Tommy Sheldon, the Liam Ogdens, these sort of players, I think they're going to be a really, really good side. Justin Sherman from the new coach, gee, what a player he's going to be in this league. I think he's going to be a sensational. I'll be over there Saturday night to have a look at these boys, have a bit of a run around. But my tip, I think I reckon they'll definitely be in the 6.
I've got one question, JR.
Yep.
Where are they going to kick their goals from?
Well, I think blokes like Sherman and these blokes, Luke Morris will come back into the side. And look, I think what it does, it opens Kai up a little bit, because I think sometimes they're a little bit one-dimensional with Paul Newman, where now I think they'll look for other options, and I think they'll get other players into that side that can play these roles, like Sammy Sheldon. And they tell me he's training the house down, Sammy. And he looks pretty fit, so he can go forward. I think they've still got enough potential to do it.
I'm worried about the fact that they've lost Jake Reeves, who was a very, very, very good ruckman, and of course Paulo going out of full forward, and that leaves a huge hole. I think they'll battle to make the 6, but stranger things have happened.
Their first 5 games, boys, too, no start's an easy start in any footy, but they haven't got a bad draw starting up. Tat, Echuca, Rochi, Barupna, and then obviously Benalla. But
it's a good start.
It's not a bad start to settle in for a bloke like Sherman and Coach and get his structures in place.
Yep. Now, you've got to talk about the last club on the rack, and we've got to send a cheerio before you start on Benalla. He rings up, he sends messages to me all the time. Jimmy Smith, who is a legend at the Benalla Football Club. They're all keen to come on the show, but he's away working at the moment, mate. Good to see you in touch. And I will say good day to another fellow called John Collins. John's been in touch regularly, and he's thrilled at some of the advances that the Goulburn Valley League have taken with
What about, have you heard from Barney?
Barney's getting married.
Have we got an invitation to the wedding?
I heard a very good rumour that we are singing. Yep, you heard
and me? Yeah. Singing at the wedding?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Wedding singers.
And I'll tell you something while we're on that topic. I am not going to Lockie Smith-Taylor.
No.
I won't be going to Lockie. His clothes are way too tight-fitting for the Reddit, I can tell you.
Anyway, let's get to Benalla.
Righto, let's
go. Is it theirs to lose again?
Righto, boys, Benalla. I'll get to that in a minute, JR. But 18 wins through the season, 0 losses. We know about how publicised their season was last year. Unfortunately, couldn't get the job done on the big stage. And, blokes like, Luke Morgan, the coach, I really, really feel for him. But I really believe this year that it's Benalla's for them to lose, I reckon. Blokes like the best and fairest Will Martinello, the list that they have got on every level is something that it would be a coach's dream. You look at last year, their goal kickers, Nick Warnock, 67 goals, Josh Mallington, 56 goals, blokes like Tommy Havers and Al Jacker. Across every line, Benalla have got good players. Yeah. Defence, blokes like Lockie Smith and, your Paul Pratts and blokes like that. The one thing I will touch on, their last premiership in the Goulburn Valley was 1940.
Yep.
So one would think, you know, take nothing away from Benalla, what they've done for the last 2 or 3 years has been nothing short of sensational, but they would be gutted if they couldn't get the job done this year.
And a couple of good ones coming back, mate. Farron Priest, who is a really good player, but gee, one of the big backs is Sammy Martin. Sammy Martin come back, he's an absolute gun. So there's just another midfielder they got.
Yeah.
With Farron Priest. So, like, their structure is just going to be unbelievable. You know, James Martin, what a great player he is. You know, he's a bloke who play. And Lockie Smith, I reckon Lockie Smith, I thought he had a great year last year, Lockie Smith. He is just a sensational player, Lockie Smith.
Superstar.
And don't forget Ryan Colbert, he missed out in the finals because of injury. So they just got that much talent to come back into that side.
Great people up there too at Benalla. And
I just think, they'll finish on top.
They're very, very keen to make amends, I do know that. Well, that winds us up for this week. Next week, we will be talking about where we think we'll come out with our top 6 next week, and we'll come out.
But also, don't forget, we've got 3 games this weekend. We didn't get to the games because we want to go through each club.
The games this weekend, they're all beauties. Kyram take on Tat.
It's a night game.
Night game on Friday. Shep play Shepparton United at Deagon. What a game that'll be. Saturday, Mansfield take on Benalla, Marootina take on the Swans, and Rochi take on Echuca.
Gee, Marootina Swans, I'll be at 3 of them, but the Marootina Swans, I'm really looking forward to that game.
It's a great weekend of football in the Goat TAFE Goulburn Valley Footy League. And on behalf of Guy Morfitt, John Ryan and yours truly, we'll see you next week. Thanks very much.